So guys, E3 is now over, everybody's gone home, just the sweepers are sweeping the floor and tidying up the shelves and picking up all the leaflets and all the shite that was left behind. And are we any wiser? Yes, I think we are. I think we're a lot wiser now than what we were just a week ago. But for me, the huge disappointment is that a lot of developers now are doing their own in-house presentations before E3 opens. It almost felt like when E3 actually finally opened the door, there was nothing more to see and everybody, what's the point? What if I'd actually been at this E3, I'd have been so pissed off going through that door on opening day because all the news was already out, all the big conferences had already been done apart from the likes of Ubisoft and that, but people like EA, they were doing their own gig at Los Angeles, somewhere else in Los Angeles, and streaming it live like what Blizzard do with BlizzCon. They stream that live. Obviously they still do it as well, but that's the way it's all going now, and I think this is going to be a turning point on these giant conventions. I think there's still room to have these big conventions, but I do think that a lot of the companies are now just saying, look, it's easier for us to just go into our own place, record it ourselves and just stream it live. It saves all the cringe moments when people don't clap. There was lots of them. There always is, but I think there was more this year than ever before, which is a shame. Is it the death of it? I mean, Rockstar didn't even bother with anything this year. They just like no Red Dead Redemption 2 or nothing. They're just like E3, no, who cares? And it's sad, but E3 had to open its doors to the public for the first time. I think they let 15,000 of the public in, and it shows that they are losing money. What gets me is there was like 5-hour queues there because of that. 5-hour queues, guys, to do a 10-minute VR demo of Doom. I mean, I wouldn't even queue 5 hours for sex, let alone a bloody VR demo. And 5 minutes would be pushing me. So what do we know? What have we took away from it? Well, we've took away a load of rehashed, redone, copy and paste games. There's nothing at all that I'm excited about. The thing that I was kind of excited about was Call of Duty, but after seeing it in action, no chance. It's exactly the same as all the other Call of Duties. They haven't done anything. It's just they talk the talk, but when it comes to walking the walk, they just can't do it. Because the people who are in charge of these games haven't a fucking clue. That's the problem. We hardly got any new VR news. There's a couple of VR games that look shoddy. There's just nothing at all, really. And it's so depressing that this is the state of the gaming industry now. I mean, E3 is normally bustling with amazing new things that we hadn't even heard of. And there's nothing. Absolutely not. I've got an Xbox, what is it, One X, that's going to be better than the PlayStation Pro. Big fucking deal. You're getting into silly money for these consoles now. You may as well buy a PC, especially when you add up the price of the games. So I'm very disappointed. I dread to think what it's going to be like next year. I mean, next year is going to be the first time I'll probably ever be able to get to an E3 gig, and it just looks as if it's going to be depressing. I'm hoping PAX is going to be a lot better, and a few other ones that we have, So who came out on top then this year? Well, it certainly wasn't Sony, that's for sure. It definitely wasn't Microsoft. I think Ubisoft did the best presentation. I think theirs was kind of more in line with gamers. The trouble with a lot of these presentations was they paid YouTubers to pretend they like the game and to over-exaggerate every single action that they do that comes out of their fucking mouths. And people aren't buying that anymore. Well, yeah, they are, I guess. Fuck me. But I think Ubisoft did it right. I don't agree with their games. I don't like a lot of their games. I hate Steep, for example, but I think Ubisoft kind of did it right this year. I think they were the ones that, when I look back on everything I saw, they kind of did it right. They introduced the game, said what it was, obviously said all the bullshit PR wank, and then you saw a little demo of it. They didn't have anybody paid to pretend that it's better than it is. But that's it, guys. There was nothing really. I was expecting a ton of VR titles, some really good stuff, but nothing at all. Nothing at all. I mean, Doom VR and Fallout 4 VR look absolute shite. They don't even have arms in them. I mean, the effort put into them looks very, very minimal. I was not impressed with that. No big, huge driving games. I mean, you got that Need for Speed, which looks absolutely fucking awful. Cutscenes in the middle of races. I mean, what the fuck? Bet it doesn't have steering wheel or pedal support either, like the last one. It's just fucking wank, man. Absolute wank. The garbage that's been dished out now by the gaming industry is just copy and pasted trash. It really is. There's hardly any innovation going on now. It's just always the same old. And, you know, if I'm there addressing these issues to the developers, they're not going to listen. They don't give a fuck. They'll just keep doing what the suits tell them to do, and the suits tell them to keep doing this because it prints money with all the fucking idiots who out there who buy it. And, you know, you just know that right now there are people pre-ordering Call of Duty. They are buying all of these DLCs and season passes, and just... That's why the gaming industry is bad. That's why E3 is bad, because of these people. I don't blame the developers. I don't blame the publishers. I blame the gamers. The gamers have created this by their own stupidity. And we have got to stop it. And the only way to stop it, if you want good games, if you want really good console games and really good PC games, then the way to get them is simple. Stop pre-ordering your games, because what that does is that tells the developer that they're doing everything right. And you get your game after it's released and you realise it's pretty much nothing like the hype, nothing like the trailers, nothing like all these sellout YouTubers were saying it was like. It's just a very average copy and pasted game. Take away their money, take away their early access, take away their pre-launch profits, hit them where it hurts in their wallets. And then when they next announce a big fucking game that's exactly the same as the last fucking game, and they say, hey, pre-order it now and get your camo for your sniper rifle, just say, fuck you. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait until the game's released, and then I'm still not going to buy it. I'm going to wait for at least 3 or 4 days. I'm going to read about 6 or 7 reviews from all across the board. Yes, I'll read some of the paid yes men, but I'm also going to listen to other people who aren't yes men, and I'm going to get a balanced review. I'm going to check a few independent reviews on Steam as well, see what's going on the comments, and if the game looks like a sound package, then I'll buy it. If it doesn't, then I'm not going to buy it. If everybody did that, which is what I do, I mean, obviously as a game reviewer I have to get pretty much all of the big games anyway, but before I did this, that's exactly what I did. I wouldn't pre-order that. And what happens is the developers lose an absolute ton of money, and an absolute ton of money. Now, these huge publishers need money because they have so many acquired assets, such as they buy up little talented studios, dissect them, and create games using the people from these studios. They have to pay all these people. They have massive publicity bills. They have to pay that. Massive advertising bills. They're not going to be able to pay it. They're just not. They're going to panic. They're going to start laying people off left, right and centre. And guess who's going to be laid off? It's not going to be the people that make the games. The first people they're going to lay off is all the shit that they've got around them. All these suits are going to lose their jobs because they still need to create games, so they can't get rid of the developers. They're going to keep the good developers and get rid of the shitty ones that shouldn't even be developing games anyway. And they're going to start panicking, and they're going to start asking the gamers what they want, because they'll be desperate for a good game. And they're going to listen, because we'll have them over a fucking barrel. It may take a few years for this to happen, but mark my words, it will happen. But you have got to stop pre-ordering games. You have got to stop buying season passes. I'll tell you what, right? It's still possible to go back to how gaming used to be in the 90s. You see, gaming used to be like this. The developers would make a game, and that game would be a hit, and it would be a full game. No DLC required, nothing. You would get the full game. Imagine Star Wars Battlefront now, right? But with everything that it's got. The version you get now with the full season pass. We used to get that for £30. We would get that, everything you've got, all them DLCs, we'd get in one package. Everything. But when gamers became morons, the developers saw, hey, these people are so fucking stupid. We can actually cut the game up into bits and sell them it bit by bit, so that they end up paying about £140 for each game. And not only that, the best laugh of them all is people who tell them to not do that will get attacked, or fanboys. They will. We don't even need to defend it. They'll defend this because they're fucking stupid. And that's essentially where gaming is today. It's going to crash. There's no doubt about it. It's going to crash. Oh, that's a foregone conclusion. It's going to crash. But what we need to do is we need to bring that crash now. It's not going to happen for a while because there's too many gullible people out there. That's the problem. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I say bring the fuckers down. That's what I say. For me, the best game that I saw at E3 was without a shadow of a doubt Mountain Blade Bannerlords. It just looks awesome. Lots of new features, but they've kept it pretty much the same as what the old version was, and this needed a rehash. I mean, I've just talked about copy and pasted games. There's nothing like this. There's literally no game like this. I've never played a game like this at all. This game is pretty much unique. It's just phenomenal. Anyone who's played Mountain Blade will know that. It's just so deep, such a deep game, and it's absolutely fantastic, and it's had a massive upgrade, and I love that. It's just great. So I can't wait to play this. It's possibly Game of the Year, this. I just can't wait to get my hands on it and to build up my whole army from scratch, explore the lands, siege castles, and become the king of everywhere. So there you go, guys. E3 2017. What a disappointment.